What's up, everyone? Tom from the Airsoft headquarters here, and welcome back. Today, I am going to rant just a little bit. There's a very specific thing that I want to discuss, and I want to inform you guys what my thoughts and my opinions are about this specific topic, because I think it is very critical to the ongoing community for all of Airsoft. And I think it is something that may be localized specifically. I don't know about any type of external Airsoft communities outside of like the Wisconsin area, but I think it still needs to be addressed very, very heavily. I just thought about this. Give me 1 second. This is such a serious video. We're just gonna go ahead and throw my white science professor jacket on, so we can be all serious, all up in the info, the stats. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, what absolutely needs to be discussed and needs to be addressed for our local community is we need to standardize visual and audible hit confirmation in an Airsoft game. Why is this something that needs to be brought up? Well, being that you guys know how busy my schedule is and everything that I am doing, I don't get to go out and play very often. It's not a regular occurrence for me. I wish so badly I had an excuse to actually go out and play and utilize the equipment that I have collected, but unfortunately, that's not a reality as of right now. But being that I did go out and I did go play, and this is not a fault of the fields themselves. It is more of a fault of the individual players. And when it happens with one player, it spreads to the players surrounding him. And then once those players get influenced or kind of get that worked into their habit, then that branches out and that works more players. And now there's a rippling effect that could negatively impact how we play Airsoft. And again, this is local player base, but what I noticed when I was out and playing is even for only a half of a day, right? I had hoped to go out and play for at least 7 hours that day, which didn't happen, but that's a story in and of itself. So played 15 minutes, and then big break, and then played another 4 hours, 3 hours. And what I noticed, and again, I don't think it specifically is spread to that field, but what I noticed is that there was an inherent lack of visual hit confirmation where a player is visually showing that he is dead via raising his hand up or waving some type of red rag or anything like that. That did not occur for the entire day. And then audible hit confirmation. The amount of times I would shoot someone and I would hear nothing, no hit, no you got me, no good job, nothing. Which is terrible, especially when I'm aiming down sights. What was worse? What was worse? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Woo, circling back around, collecting my thoughts. What was worse? Right? Because I can take the fact if someone isn't going to acknowledge that they got hit but still walk away. What I cannot stand, and what I saw so much for that half a day that I was able to play, is I would shoot someone, or I would watch one of my players or one of my teammates, or even watch as a player from the other team shoot me and my teammates, and then the people that were getting shot would turn around and go, "Hey, are you on my team?" And just not acknowledge if they got hit or not. No, you got me, good shot. Hey, by the way, are you on my team? Either way, that was a good shot. Nothing. this is what would happen. If I was getting shot at, if I was getting hit by BBs. Right? How terrible is that, right? But I can take that. I can take that instead of getting hit and going, hey, what team you on? Did you friendly fire me? Because it doesn't matter. Friendly fire count. Why was that even a question? Why did so many people ask what team they were on? Oh my God. This is bothering me so much. So one of the other things that I noticed, I'm trying to drop the energy, trying to be positive. One of the other things that I noticed is during one of the game modes where it was where you got hit and you had to stay in the position where you got hit and just take a knee, raise your hand, and be dead. Like just be dead in that position that you got hit. And then the respawn option was your teammate or your friends would come and take you back in and you would be up then. So that was kind of like the general game mode. What I noticed more than once is that someone would take a kneeling position, which by the way is a legitimate form of a shooting stance and is standardized and is part of a shooting test within the armed forces, right? So it's a legitimate stance to be shooting from. Someone is kneeling at the edge of a building, so just their back and their legs, like their back leg is exposed. And they would get lit up from the back. And then they would raise the arm I need to draw this out. I need you guys to physically see exactly the amount of shit that was occurring at that moment. So come with me. All right, just hang out there for a sec. Clear this off. I will defend this shooter instead of this guy, because this guy, the guy who was getting shot at, was just causing a whole racket. So I'm gonna draw it out very quickly. So there's a building here. There's a shooter inside. Now again, this is gonna be action sports. You guys may know exactly which area I'm talking about. There is a big Connex container that there's a row that comes this direction, there's a row that comes this direction. So there's another sub-Connex area right here, and there's a stairwell right here. So what I was doing was I got shot right here. So that's me. Just you guys, if you couldn't track, that's me. This guy, he's the shooter. He took me down, and there was the other guy that was sitting here. He's the guy that's getting shot at. He's the guy that is sitting right at the edge here. I mean, his leg, his backside, the back half of his body is exposed. So you can see his backpack, you can see the back of his plate here. And then you can see all of his thigh, and then his leg is sticking out. Now this shooter is shooting past me, and he is just weaving a BB through that staircase, and he's hitting this guy here. I mean, a really, really good shot. And he only shot him 5 to 8 times just to confirm, right? Because this is a distance of 30 feet, and then this is a distance of another 20, 25 feet. So overall, a distance of 55 feet, not inches, was the shooter took me out. Shooter is taking 5 to 8 shots in order to hit the leg and back part of this guy here. Now, because his body is completely covered, like the majority front of his body is completely covered by this building in here, it is visually obstructing me and the shooter, right? And I'm watching this all go down, and I'm listening for it. This guy did not say anything as far as a audible hit confirmation to notify or direct information to the shooter that he got hit. So what he did is he's just sitting there. He's sitting in a kneeling position. He got hit, and he says nothing. He claims to have put his hand up, but we can't visually confirm that he has his hand up because there's a building in the way. Do you see where the problem inherently lies? So what happened was, and this shooter was not overshooting this guy by any means at all. 5 to 8 shots, slow, controlled shots. Shot, 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 shot. I hear this guy scream, "Stop fucking overshooting me." Which is a complete overreaction given the situation that I have just described to you now. And so now this guy stands up, goes to a referee and bitches about how this shooter is overshooting him. It's like, "I've got my hand up, I'm clearly hit, and this guy keeps shooting me." Well, yeah, no shit, because you didn't audibly confirm if you got impacted. And again, to make it clear, there's a freaking building in the way. So he cannot visually confirm that an arm was raised. This, I will defend this shooter. I don't know who he is, but if you, the shooter, know who you are in this situation, I am defending you 100%. This is 100% on this guy, right? Referee gets notified that someone's overshooting, and he starts walking back and forth, and I'm like, dude, no one's overshooting. We're all chill. We're all being cool, right? This guy was just the problem, right? So that was my biggest complaint about this situation. If only this guy had audibly confirmed that he had got hit, that wouldn't be a problem, because at a distance of here to here, I would have heard something, but he didn't say anything. So if he says nothing, how is he supposed to relay the information from here to stop shooting BBs at a leg? That's just my biggest complaint. Let's go back to the studio. Now that I have given enough attention to that specific environment, that specific scenario involving the shooter and the guy that was getting shot at, we don't need to address it anymore. I've kind of beaten that horse a little too much at this point. But where does that now lead this conversation? Well, it leads this conversation into a reminder that a couple of weeks ago, there was a small little wave going through the Airsoft YouTube community where people were talking about how Airsoft needs to change, the community needs to change, things need to change for the better, yada, 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 fields need to do yada, yada, yada. And I agree to the broad topic that something needs to happen. There does need to be change. But the change needs to occur within the individuals, within the Airsoft community themselves. The community as a whole doesn't need to change. There are a lot of good people, not players, people. There are good people embedded in the Airsoft community. There are good fields. Are there bad people, and are there bad players, and are there bad fields? Yes, there absolutely are. But still, what occurs within the aspect of social media and news networks is the negatives always seem to be amplified. It's an innate nature of humans to be naturally drawn to all of this negativity and all of this negative atmosphere. That needs to change, and that's all based on the individual aspects of every single person in any community. It's not just Airsoft. It can be racing, makeup, photography, kite flying, underwater basket weaving, for all I care, right? What needs to happen is each individual person needs to have an attitude of positivity. You need to be open to different situations, to different environment, and to different aspects, and to different people, right? You need to be malleable. You need to be able to adapt. What we at the Airsoft arena have been doing for a long time, and I think it's finally gotten to the point where everyone's understood it. We used to have it where players would make small little snappy remarks about, oh, this field does this other field does that, something this field. And it's like, great, but you're here, and you're here to play by our rules in our environment, And that's it. We can go on to say that our rules and our standards and our expectations are preset by our insurance package, but then we as the referees, as the management, we need to help enforce that, and that needs to be a part of how we approach the players in the situation and the day of the field. For example, you don't go to a Taco Bell, buy a Supreme Crunchy burrito, bite into it, eat half of it, and then go, well, it's not a fucking Big Mac. Why isn't it a Big Mac? I wanted a Big Mac, but I went to Taco Bell and I ordered a burrito, but why didn't they give me a Big Mac? If you want a Big Mac, you go to the people that are going to provide you the Big Mac. Don't go to other places and expect to be able to purchase or even be able to consume a Big Mac. And it's like, it seems so basic, but there are too many people that don't understand this. So don't go to different fields trying to enforce or play by other fields' rules and regulations, right? You go to a new environment to try new things, and you're going to play by their rules. And again, I touched on it briefly, but one of the things that people need to be is they need to be absolutely a positive attitude and a positive influence to help players around them. Because again, it starts with that ripple effect. If some dude's going to be a dick for one game, that becomes a virus for that one game. He has a negative attitude and is just a dick to enough people during that game that they're going to be affected, and they're going to be dicks to other people that they engage with on that field. And by the time that everyone walks off the field, everyone's in a foul mood. And it's like, how do I change this? How do I get everyone back to positive vibes? And it's just like, it's nearly impossible to do that. But it's all because one person somehow dropped 3 BBs out of their speed loader, right? And now they are in the worst mood ever. It's like you killed their dog just because they were stuck speed loading in a corner and they got shot. Oh my God. Again, that is something that has occurred. I'm not giving you guys these scenarios or these situations because they're what come to my mind. These are legit scenarios that have occurred and have played themselves out at fields. And it's like, people just need to relax. You're there to have fun. You need to be willing to have fun with other people. You need to allow yourself to have fun, just like you need to allow yourself to have fun with others. And they need to approach you with that same attitude. And then everyone is having fun. As soon as one person becomes irritated or upset about the smallest thing and then blows it out of proportion, now everyone's not having fun. And that can ruin an entire weekend event. And I've seen it ruin a weekend event. And it's just, it is something that needs to be changed. But it needs to be changed on the individual player. It is all about individual responsibility, individual care, and individual attitude. We can't put the responsibility of changing people's attitude on fields or on a general community. That starts with solo player 1. That starts with you, that starts with me, and we need to only be concerned about you and me. I can't be concerned about someone else if I'm not willing to change my attitude and my outlook on the game. It really is as simple as that. But for some reason, so many people struggle with it. If you guys have any type of solution or any type of tips and tricks as to how to get people into a better mood before they go play, me personally, I just zen out for the later half of the day before I go out and play. I just relax, I chill, maybe I go work out and get some of that angst, that aggression out before I go and play. Drink tea, put your feet into a foot massager, put pickle slices over your eyes as you fall asleep, listening to I don't know who. Everyone just needs to vibe out. Everyone needs to eat a pot brownie and just chill out. Not endorsing pot brownies, but that is literally the level at which people need to chill. Because it's getting very bad, and we need to stop it. But it starts at the individual. Anyway, that's all we have for today. Thank you guys for staying to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. I went on for a long spiel about all this bullshit, and quite frankly, I don't like to make these videos, but they need to be addressed. So thank you for staying to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you guys do have any further questions or comments, right, you know exactly where to put them. I'll see you down there. And that's it. So you guys stay safe, stay clean, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.